Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm on my break for a little bit, so I said I'll get out here in this wonderful sun, experience this Mother Nature. As she's been giving us some good weather for the last about a week or so. Good enough weather to get out and hike, fish, walk, whatever, exercise, and get some good sun. But I just gonna share a little bit of video, but I won't be able to post this video till I be able to maybe just get some Wi-Fi. But we just coming to talk about today is, in my opinion, you can make a good family of dogs overnight, and you ask your question, you ask yourself that, you say, is that true, or you just making something up, or you could say, you can't do that. You definitely can, because one thing about it, I'm gonna give you some examples why you can make some good dogs overnight. It could be something on your yard. They get loose, or you got another dog, or you might be keeping one of your homeboy dogs, and he might be papered up, registered online. Good dog now, good dog, but he may not be acting like nothing. He may not be, or she may not be acting like nothing, because I like to use both parties. The male and the female may not be acting like nothing, so they get a loose, or, you know, they get a loose and they get hung up. Now, you ain't expecting this. Now, you ain't got no plannings to do any type of breedings or whatsoever. Um, just like, you said, man, I just had a puppy on the ground. They X amount of months old. They around the 4 or 5. Like, you seeing good insights on these dogs. They pretty much coming out the way you expected them to come out, through the parents and through the time and the thorough, you know, putting the patience in, the breeding, and so forth, so forth, so forth. So I just like to, pretty much hypothetically speak whenever I talk to the audience or whatever. And so you have this good litter of dogs, or you got some. I'm gonna use another example. You got another dog that may be down in a couple blocks, and the dog might be registered. Or if he's not registered, just say he might be, but we hoping the dog would be. You get a loose, and you so happen to look out the window, or somebody else might catch, say, man, I seen her over there. She don't got stuck with the dog, or she breaks her loose and go up there with him and get stuck there, and they calling you like, who is this dog up here? So in that case, so now these puppies come, they get through the, you know, pretty much the cycle of getting older, getting mature a little bit, where they walking and all this stuff. And now, fast forward, like I said, I like to talk in hypothetically, a hypothetical. I like to talk like that because it is a certain thing that you can have a good litter on the ground by just one breeding or overnight. But my question is to y'all guys: can you sustain that litter? And we know, with all being said, we know tomorrow ain't promised, but we still get another day like today to look at what we got and what we looking forward to 3 to 5 years, and so et cetera, et cetera. But can you sustain that longevity of this strand? And finally, you get to see how these puppies is and how they acting and what they becoming. And some may not act like the other ones. Some may act. You got a couple of them. You like, God, them this off the chain. You can't. You got to break them up. And we all don't seen them like that. Where you soon as they get 3 weeks to, I'm gonna just say 4. That's realistically. But 3 weeks and a half, cause they walking and stuff, they moving around, and you starting to break them from off the moms or whatnot, and them just they rowdy. So my thing is, yes, you can make a good litter of dog. Have a good litter overnight. You definitely can. By them 2 examples, or you could just put something together and say, I'm gonna put this together. I never done it before. I want this combination, this selective breeding I got right here. I don't put a lot of observation in it. I have thoroughly went through the viewing and the monitoring of the dog, I think this really should, stand out. But my thing is this: can you sustain that litter? That's the time. That's the thing that we kind of really missing out when it comes to these strand of dogs, or these certain dogs we build family trees off of. Whether it's whether if it's an inbred process, or whether it's a line bred, or whether it's an outcrosser. But can we sustain it? A lot of times, that's why a lot of times stuff get watered down, because we don't know how to really sustain it or what to go back to. And my grand ideal of this is just to look and see especially if you got two dogs that got papers. Now, if you don't got another dog, male or female, that don't have the papers, and you know somewhat about them, and then you still can go off of there, because I don't seen some online papers where they don't bred some dogs that have unknown, but they would still be able to still produce some good dogs. But sometimes you don't even gotta look at the pedigree. You just look at the dog and see what direction to go. And sometimes you gotta look at what the breeder's method is, how they did this, and what to go to this. And then, like we already know, you can have two different family of dogs, but they have the same traits. Can you match them up? Yes. So that's my question. What do we do to sustain it? And you gotta work hard at that, and noticing what your dog's doing, and how they acting around this dog, or how they acting around your family, and all that plays a big part. And you sustaining the line, because you just can't breed to anything and expect anything to come out good, because everything all the time, you ain't gonna get that. When they do a 50-50 cross, you ain't gonna get that other 50-50. That other 50% of that might be garbage, and it might not create nothing. But then again, it could. So it's a 50-50 chance every time you drop a litter that every one of them gonna come out good, or at least a good high percentage. But the thing of it is, we not sustaining the line like we supposed to. And it's been some great strand of dogs. I mean, some great strand of dogs over in our time, especially back in the day, 70s, 80s, 90s. Them were the golden years of the American Pit Bull Terriers. Even though we go back farther than that, we still, all of them go to me, because these dogs have got created for a purpose. They got created for, a vision. And, they got created for a sporting good, So, but the thing of it is, can you sustain that line? And when you make it that overnight, or you make it like for that one quitter hitter, and a lot of guys or people, they don't did the one breeding one time, and something happened to the female. Now you don't got or the male, you don't got no offsprings or any siblings that lived out. That was the only one. So now what direction do you go to? You just got to dig in that pedigree. And maybe you might have to go, ask some questions for some guys for some, some great advice. And that's one thing I don't mind doing. I don't mind asking questions. What you think on this? To give me something to lean on, to give me something to guide me on, or something. So we don't have that type of idea where somebody can really help you, especially if they give you a good compliment and say, man, I think I would do this, or these dogs was bred good when they went with this. It ain't nothing but worth a try. So, but what I'm saying is, you can have a good, successful litter overnight, but the question is, can you sustain it? That's it. And I don't think a lot of these strands that came out, or they had they run within a certain period of time, maybe just say 3 years, and then you don't see them dogs no more, probably because nobody didn't know what direction to go into, or they began to just fade out just because some people get dogs, or some of them will get them, they'll just strictly use them for certain, like, confirmation, or they're strictly use them for whatever, just family based, whatever the case may be, depending on who get the line or whatever. But the main question is, can we sustain the breed, or can the breed have longevity? Yes, it can, but you have to know the tools. You gotta know your common denominators with whatever you breeding with the two family of dogs, or they could be closely kin, or they could just be not kin at all. So that was my question. So one question one example I gave, maybe you got something on the yard, your homeboy he, you know, you get a yard, he get into a deal where he say, man, I got these dog with paper. Can I leave them on the yard right now? I'm not situated. You know, I'm in an apartment, boom, 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 boom. So you like, all right, I got you, bro. He a good solid dog. So he like, look, you just bring this feed over here for him. And so you can get fed, so you can feed him or whatnot. And so, and then that could be a case where the male or the female, they get bred to one of them get a loose one day, and you so happen. Then the second example is, you know, you have something in the neighborhood that's really good, man, right up the road, a couple blocks up the road. He got some stuff, but y'all ain't never really said no words. Y'all might have said what's up to each other or something on passing, or just never came up on the conversation of just, or the topic of, you know, do you breed dogs? He might have don't seen you don't walking, but he ain't never thought he stay in his own lane, you stay in yours. Get a loose, he come down there, or she might come up there and get in, and you know, they trying to wonder where this dog came from. I know it can't be my man's dog because I ain't see him like that, but he not knowing you may have multiple dogs. So, and my question is, can you have a litter, a fire litter? Can you make a fire litter overnight? Yeah, you can. Just off a sequence. Just off a sequence that you didn't even put together first and foremost, that you didn't even put a format on, that you didn't even draw, that you didn't even write down. You can have a good solid litter. But the thing of it is, can you sustain it? And I think that's what's really happening to the game right now, because you don't see, I mean, I can name some good family of dogs that you don't really see too much, or they just don't help start other family of dogs, like, you know, the Maitland Outlaw, the Maitland stuff. I mean, you see it, but you don't see it like that, like no more, you know, or what else? There's a lot of them out there. Some more of the good names, you know, some of the, let me see if I can name some stuff I can name. Maitland's Outlaw. You know, you see a bunch of red boy Jocko, so we can't name them, but I'm saying some stuff like the Kingfish stuff, you know, or the Masons bloodline, some of the older stuff that people were really running. And a lot of, you know, like they say, a lot of them, the Mason dogs, they was hog dogs, but some of them hog dogs can be just as better than the regular dogs, you know. But yeah, so this video is basically saying, you know, you can have a good litter overnight, but the thing of it is, we know tomorrow's not promised. Can you sustain it? Can you have longevity where the litter can you know, however it was created, can outlast its sequence on whenever it was not even thought about through you, but just through the dogs being ever taking the course of what they doing as far as naturally, or nature taking its course where a male or a female get off the chain, go breed to such and such. And that's pretty much it. That's how you have a lot of stuff that you never seem to want to do. Like, you know, like I said, excuse me, my own boy, he didn't want to do a brother and sister. The dogs that she never been bred for. And her name was Alexa, Sinclair's Alexa, and Sinclair's Demon Lito, I meant. She went directly right over there and got stuck. He wasn't even trying to stick her to it. He was going to stick her to another dog. She ended up getting loose, got stuck. So the puppies came out, man. It was a game changer. So he's like, man, and I got one of the puppies, Alex the Great, really small dog, but man, had a good solid mouth on him. Good solid mouth, and the rest of the dogs, I think he had another female that came out of that named Cuppy or something, and she was, boy, that mother was like a old school brown brindle, man, right? I'm talking about this right. But see, them are them type of, you know, them breedings, them overnight breedings that you don't expect, that you don't have a sequence for. It just happened just by nature, or naturally just happens, and you ain't never really thought about doing it. So, but can you sustain them overnight breedings, or them breedings like that? And you just have to know what to go to. But I just thank y'all taking the time out to just really listen to my thoughts, to listen to my methodical thinking. I really like to think outside the box, but also think more, very sensible to the situation, because sometimes we rule out certain things to just to pivot a point, and sometimes it's not called for, and then we get into a argumentative talk with one another, just trying to prove a point, and really you trying to have these facts, but the facts is never gonna weigh out the truth about it. Just I'm always gonna go the truth. Now you might got some facts to a situation, but the truth is always gonna outweigh them facts. This all day. So I just try to speak truth in everything that I say, and just get y'all guys to really start looking at things the way I look at it, and some more other guys look at it. And I say I ain't the smartest, but I ain't the dumbest either. So I'm still trying to reach impeccable things, as far as the breed and how I need to go as a breeder to get me over that next step, to become, to stand out like a thorn. And like I said, and I've been saying it, I'm a hair away, and I ain't tripping if I don't never get the recognition, because I know I'm gonna get it from myself. If you can't worry about nobody, what they say about you or anything, just keep doing what you're doing. And so, but this is just for some of my, like, I do a lot of stuff for my up and coming, guys that's getting into it and don't really have the way, just don't have the way, or don't know which way to go. They got some good dogs in the yard, but which way I should go? I had a lot of people ask me that, and I say sometimes you just got to do it, and that's the only way you gonna know. I can't speculate in my mind and say, oh, them two dogs gonna do something, or they should have some good litters, until it's on the ground, until they give up age, or that's the only way I'm gonna be able to know. I can say that all day. Well, this should have been a good litter, even though the situation how Ben 10 and X-Terra, there was some strictly some line bred on top of line bred. First line bred that I ever done right there with this blood, mixing it in with the Sinclair Slim Jim. That 1%, that's all I need. But actually, you know what? I'm telling a lie. That ain't the first line bred I did. The first line bred I did was going back to Jules bred to Frankie Knuckle, Sinclair's Frankie Knuckle. And that 1% came out. She had 6. I think she smushed 1. 5 came out. I think my Alex the Great Dog, he killed 3. Matter of fact. Yeah, he did, because I was going to keep 1. He killed 3. Yeah, because that makes 5. She smushed 1. That's 5. And then, hold up. I'm trying to think. I think he might have killed all of them. He killed all 4 of them. They got near him. He ripped them apart. I don't know if he just thought if they was a rodent or anything like that. But that 1% was the male that I got back from my man's when he passed away, in his car crash. My homeboy, good best friend of mine. And salute to them guys too, man. Big salute to them, man. Sinclair Slim Jim, Bullyfoot. The other guy last name was Williams, but that's what he went by. I think he went by Bullyfoot. He might have went by Williams, and then he changed the name to Bullyfoot. And then the other guy, Slim Jim, real name was what's the name? I think it's Prosvos or Prevos, something like that. But yeah, salute to them, man. But anyway, that 1% was that 1%, man, he gave back. This dog, man, I let this when I first bred Sky, and I got Terra. Actually, I got Terra back too, but they was like a couple months apart. But anyway, I had let him out, had him on my aunt's house, and man, he was already at 5 months nipping at these dogs like ankles. And I'm looking at him, and so they get into a big scuffle one day, and she got the other dog, Little Frankie, that's what I called him, because he was like a chocolate Brindle, and she had him by the throat. I'm talking about usually dogs like that, they whine or they start, kind of peeing on him. She wasn't playing. She bigger than him by at least 2 sizes, at least a 1.5 or 2 sizes. And so I had to, kind of, and then her sister, she was all in it. They both started. She hit her, Tara hit her, bam. So I'm like, I got to get one dog off, So And I finally got her, threw her in the cage, boom. And man, when I finally broke them up, man, he still was wanting it at that age. So then when he turned like 11 months old, it didn't matter what you faced him up to, he was ready. But he ended up, getting off the chain, and Ralph ended up, kennel accident. And I'm like, man. So, but my thing is, man, it's just crazy how I don't, but I don't lost, but I also, it's that loss is a lesson. So, but I also don't gain. So we got some more beautiful things that's get ready to come on the ground too. Like I said, I just lost almost, like I say, 19 dogs. The first litter out of Ben 10X, Terra. She had 8, only one lived due to abandonment through the moms. And then I had the next litter. It was just, this could have been, I should have took them in the house on my end, but thing was, it was a, kind of a my call, but I can't blame it on me. I mean, I could just say it's a 50-50 thing. I'm gonna just say it like that. Then she had 12, so none didn't live out of that. And then, just a bunch of things that were going on. But so we're gonna rebreed her again. I really like the idea of the fact that I wanted to put that together. So that'll definitely be some more lion bred stuff, lion bred on top of lion bred with my Alps still up in there at a good percentage. But yeah, but I'm hoping, that y'all can, really understand where I'm coming from on this video. But can you really have something overnight? But the thing of it is having the litter overnight. And we know tomorrow ain't promised, but can you sustain it with longevity to keep this, them couple breedings, and they can start on their own family or tree of dogs by you doing it? Yes, you can. So, but I hope y'all really enjoyed it. All Wheel Kennels of the Carolinas at your services. Got some big things this year. I really want to go to some of the shows, but if I don't get to go, it's all right. We still gonna keep working at getting to them shows too. So my main focus on to just be more, more stingy with myself, and just be more stingy, and so I can see these beautiful things, these beautiful goals, so I can achieve them, come to life. Because it don't matter what age you is, you can do whatever you want to in this world, this lifetime. But yeah, y'all have a good one. Hope y'all really enjoyed this 22 or 23 minutes, man. We're gonna do some more. Got some more. I'm wait till it start back getting warmer. We're gonna start having our dogs. I'm start taking them, giving them more walks and everything. Kind of keeping it the old school way. I like to have a treadmill, but right now I don't really need one. I just old school. Let me get 5 miles in with one of them, or try to get whoever I can get in. But yep. But y'all have a good one.